What up, guys? This is DD Got a Point, and I am DD. And whether you're in Syria, Siberia, Serbia, Sirius FXM, if you want to be the MVP, VIP, ATV, hit that SUB. Please subscribe. Alright guys, so before we get into today's video and I start ranting and raving about the Thunder and just how elite they are and how impressed I am, and I start saying all the good things about the Thunder, I just want to state for the record, just for what it's worth, midway through the first quarter, you got the commentators talking about who's the likely MVP winner, which again, I'm an SGA fan, I'm proud of the season he's had, but I like how they make a statement like that and then proceed to watch the same game we watched where SGA started off the game. This is not a reflective of how SGA's season has went. I'm just saying for this one game, SGA starts off the game 0 for 5 from the three-point range. He was 1 for 8 at one point, finished the half with 2 for 10, went 2 for 10 from the field. I mean, looked pedestrian. He just looked super normal. And yet the Thunder was still up by almost 40 points. SGA left the game at the end of the first quarter, then checked back into the game until 3 minutes in the second quarter. He didn't come back in until almost halftime. While he was out the game, the Thunder blew the Grizzlies out the water so bad that they was up by almost 40 points. They went on like a 20-0 run with SGA on the bench. I don't think people should be necessarily criticized for being on a good team, but it's weird that they watch that and then, but it should count against you if your team is that elite and that dominant with you off the floor. I think they need SGA to win a championship. I think SGA has been MVP worthy throughout the season. But you got a man out there in Denver who's originally from Serbia who is putting up much better numbers, much bigger impact with less. He has more assists with less talent on his team. That's all I'm saying. Now, I don't want to make this about bashing the Thunder or a backhanded compliment, but you got to point it out, bro, because you're going to brag about SGA. He finished the game with, I forget how many points, maybe 15, 20 points, something like that. But he shot terrible, which is bad news for the Grizzlies. Because if you get beat by, they were down by as many as 50. They was down by 50 points midway through the third quarter. So badly I recorded it.
Dude, they're up by 50 points. They're up by 50 points, bro. And Shea only got like 15 points. 12, 15 points, something like that.
50 points. Here's my first question. Ja, where you at, bro? You said we good out here in the West.
Nah, I'm fine in the West.
That's what you said. Ja, where you at, bro? Where your grenades at? I can't hear you, bro. Where Ja at? If SGA underperformed and y'all still lost against this Thunder team by 40 points, what does that mean when SGA plays the way he's been playing all season? Because not only is he averaging 30 points a game, 32 points a game, but he's efficient. What you gonna do when he actually get it going? The Grizzlies, bro, they look scared. They looked terrified. They look like a deer in headlights. We got to call it out. We got to call it out. And I'm looking at the box score. They lost by 51 points. And if you watch the game, it felt like they was down more than that. That's embarrassing, bro. To lose a game by 51 points is just so embarrassing. And I'm trying to figure out what this kid, Aldama, number 7, who has one of the prettiest, in my opinion, he has one of the prettiest shooting forms in the NBA. That dude, I mean, he looks scared, man. I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm watching him get the ball. He don't even want to put the ball on the floor. I mean, I think that speaks not just to how afraid they were, but to how dominant OKC Thunder's defense is, because obviously I think they're like the number 1 defensive ranked team in the NBA, but that don't even speak to how great they are, because I believe that this is one of the greatest defensive teams I've ever seen in the NBA, period. I mean, when the Thunder comes down, I think Jalen Williams off the bench, not the first Jalen Williams, not J-Dub, but the Jalen Williams that comes off the bench, I could have swore like he had like 10 open three-pointers, wide open. And a couple of those wide open three-pointers, he had an open teammate right beside him. It's like they were playing 5-on-2. And then when the Thunder would come down and play defense, it was like they had 9 people on their team, and the Grizzlies was only playing with like 4. It's like they had extra players. Their defense is that good. There was no spacing. They had nowhere to go. Every time Adama touched the ball, it was like he was scared. It was like watching the Nuggets all over again. It's like when somebody on the Nuggets get the ball who's not named Jokic, and at times not named Jamal Murray, it's like they're looking for Jokic. It's the same thing with the Grizzlies. They get the ball, and it's like they can't do anything. They can't look at the basket. It's like a bunch of Ben Simmons out there, bro. They just turn around, look to give it to Ja again. It's like Are y'all NBA players or not? Scottie Pippen Jr. I'm not saying that he has to be as great as his dad. I'm not saying that he has to be the second coming of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant. No. He doesn't even have to be Patrick Beverly. Be an NBA player, bro. I just need 12 to 15 points. Give me something solid, bro. This dude was terrible. I mean, he went 1 for 9, finished the game with 2 points, 0 for 4 from the three-point range. But that don't even speak to how bad he played. Because if you watch the game, he picking up silly fouls, silly offensive fouls. I mean, it was several times he had wide open floaters at the basket. Wouldn't shoot it. A couple of times he had a chance to shoot the ball. He would pump fake, allow the defense to settle back in on him, and then he shoots the ball. They're afraid, bro. They're scared. And I don't know how. Look, if SGA performed like this and they still won the game by 51 points, y'all in trouble, dude. Like, Ja Morant finished the game with 17 points. He wasn't even efficient. 6 for 17, bro. 1 for 6 from the three-point range. Jaren Jackson Jr. Oh, my God. We got to talk about this dude. 4 points, 0 for 4 from the three-point range. 2 for 13 from the field. Look, we got to give the Thunder credit because this is probably going to happen with most teams that play the Thunder. You're going to struggle to score the ball at times with this defense. But there are things that you can do to weather the storm. And what they're doing with Jaren Jackson Jr. is mind-blowing. Can somebody, anybody, explain to me why when Jaren Jackson Jr. is playing, he's catching the ball at the three-point line? The dude is like a legit 7-footer himself. Why are you catching the ball with guards on you at the three-point line, and then he's trying to post him up all the way from the three-point line with his back to the basket? You allowing the defense to roam and help defenders to roam, and you allowing them to play zone. You're bailing out the defense, bro. Catch the ball within, 5 to 7 feet from the basket and punish them. Force them to double team you. But no. He comes down court. It's like he wants to be a guard. He catches the ball on the wing, and I'm not saying his handles are terrible, but no matter how tall you are, if you're playing against smaller defenders, especially on this Thunder team, they're gonna rip the ball, bro. They're gonna deflect the ball. They're gonna stunt you, bro. Why bail them out? That's an easy 8 to 12 points a game. Because at the end of the day, it's a game of numbers, bro. If you stop the momentum of them going on these 15-0 runs, 20-0 runs by coming down court, getting in the paint, if they go on an 8-0 run, you come down, get a couple of, easy layups at the basket, you stop the bleeding. But you only add to the bleeding when you're catching the ball at the three-point line and you're just like, what are you doing, bro? Desmond Bane is like 9 points, 3 for 12, bro. 1 for 6. They just don't have enough. Marvin Bagley, which I didn't even know Marvin Bagley was on this team. He checked into the game and I was like, is that Marvin Bagley? He came in and went off. He didn't even miss. He went 8 for 8 from the field, 17 points, 1 for 1 from the three-point line. I guarantee you he's probably going to start the next game, y'all. I don't know who you take out because I don't know. Maybe they trade out Scottie Pippen Jr. because that dude is trash. I'm sure he's had better games before, but Scottie Pippen Jr., bro, absolutely. Like, he reminded, there's a small list. Y'all don't know this. There's a small list of players that I can't stand in NBA history because when I watch them, I lose brain cells and I lose IQ watching them play. It baffles me that they're in the NBA. Julius Randle, Jeff Teague, Gordon Hayward, and then there's one other person. But Scottie Pippen Jr. is working his way up on that list. Because what you don't do on offense, you need to make up on defense. You need to make up in deflections. Something. But when you out there, bro, you're just a detriment to the team. Why did the Grizzlies not play only one of the greatest three-point shooters in NBA history from a percentage perspective? I think he's like 43%. And Luke Kennard. The man had 5 points in 12 minutes, and that was in garbage time. Why are y'all not playing him? I don't know, bro. I see this being a sweep. They're going to have to make some lineup adjustments. Scottie Pippen Jr. has to go, bro. Like, you can't keep that dude out there playing like that. All of them looked afraid. All of them. Yeah, this is not going to cut it, y'all. It's just not going to cut it. Shout out to the Thunder, bro. Like, I think they're just so dominant. I got them coming out the West, and the only team I see beating them is the Clippers. And I know the Clippers lost against the Nuggets, but the only reason I say the Clippers is because I think that's the only team that has the matchup, that has enough of the personnel to be able to stunt the Thunder. I still think the Thunder is the number one team in the West. I mean, they finished with almost 70 wins for a reason. But that's the only team out West I think that could really compete with them from a personnel perspective. Obviously, huge fan of Jokic over here, but they don't have enough. I really think that the Thunder are going to beat the Nuggets in 5 games, maybe 6. I mean, when you look at the Wolves, I mean, the Wolves got to beat the Lakers. It's only been one game. They dominated the Lakers last night. But when you look at the Wolves have the defense that could rival that of a Thunder. They have the length that could rival that of a Thunder. But I don't think they have enough offensively. They don't have enough firepower offensively to be able to keep up with the Thunder, right? I think you got Ant. Naz Reid is solid, right? And he keeps proving people wrong when they don't talk about him. You got Walker, and then Mike Conley is going to be a defensive liability, but I just don't think they have enough offensively, right? So shout out to the Thunder. Great win. 51-point win, which I believe is like the third largest win margin in the NBA shot clock era. That's wild, bro. That's wild. Y'all up in the comment section, give me your thoughts. What you think about the game? What you think about the Grizzlies? What adjustments you think need to be made? Do you think this is a sweep and the series is already over? Hop in the comment section. Let me know, man. I'm Demetrius. I go by Didi. That's all for this, man. Until next time. Peace. Oh, yeah. Didi got a point.